Stop scrolling. I'm going to tell you about the only place on Earth where a single square meter holds the power to kill you. Forget remote jungles or deep-sea trenches. This terror is a stunning, lush paradise just 90 miles off the coast of Brazil. This is Ilha da Queimada Grande, better known to the world by its chilling nickname, Snake Island. It is forbidden by law and for the most terrifying reason imaginable. The island hosts the largest, densest population of one of the world's most specialized and venomous snakes, the Golden Lancehead Viper. We aren't talking about a few dozen snakes. Experts estimate there is up to one snake for every square meter. Think about that. Everywhere you look, under every rock, coiled in every tree branch, there is almost certainly a lethal predator waiting. That density alone has earned it the title of the world's most dangerous place. Because of this impossible, haunting blend of pristine natural beauty and absolute hidden peril, this island is legally off limits to everyone. The restriction isn't just to protect the viper's unique ecosystem. It's to protect your life. But why? How did this concentration of death happen here? And what deadly secrets is this island hiding that the government doesn't want us to uncover? If you're watching this, hit that like button right now. It helps expose these secrets to more people. Now, back to the island. To understand why Queimada Grande is so deadly, we have to travel back in time, all the way to the end of the last ice age, about 11,000 years ago. Back then, this island wasn't an island at all. It was part of the Brazilian mainland. As the massive glaciers melted, sea levels began to rise relentlessly, gradually swallowing the land. Imagine the waters creeping up hour after hour until they finally cut off this piece of Earth entirely. This geographical isolation was the crucial turning point. When the land bridge flooded, it trapped the ancestral population of snakes. While some old rumors tell tales of ancient mariners or perhaps pirates intentionally seeding the island with snakes to guard hidden treasure, a romantic, if horrifying thought, the scientific consensus is much more compelling. Isolation was the key. Trapped on an island roughly the size of 40 soccer fields, surrounded by endless ocean, these snakes had no predators, no competition, and no way to leave. It was a pressure cooker of evolution, turning an ordinary viper into something unique and terrifying, which we'll get to in a moment. The island itself is a beautiful but brutal landscape, a mosaic of rocky cliffs and dense patches of Atlantic rainforest. It is a stunning natural fortress created by geological forces 11,000 years ago, and now it guards the deadliest secret on Earth. But what exactly happened to these trapped snakes that made their venom 5 times stronger than their mainland cousins? This is where the story gets truly terrifying. Isolation wasn't just a geographic detail, it was an evolutionary accelerator, forging the deadliest viper in the Americas. Meet the Golden Lancehead, Bothrops insularis. It exists nowhere else in the world. Once the snakes were isolated on this tiny, resource-limited rock, they faced a unique problem: no ground-based prey. Their only reliable food source was migratory birds stopping over on their journey. In a normal environment, a snake bites a mouse, and the mouse panics, maybe runs a few steps, and then collapses. But a bird? If a bird is bitten, it can simply fly away and die far out at sea. That's a missed meal, a death sentence for a hungry viper. So, evolution stepped in. The Golden Lancehead developed venom that is chemically stronger and faster acting than its mainland cousin, the jararaca. This wasn't just potent, it was optimized to instantly incapacitate. It's a powerful cocktail of hemotoxins and neurotoxins designed to stop a bird in mid-flight and ensure it drops immediately. Early researchers who dared to study these creatures wrote chilling notes, describing the venom as melting flesh like acid. It causes kidney failure, tissue necrosis, and instant internal bleeding. The fact is, this venom is 5 times stronger than any comparable snake. It's an overwhelming strike, necessary for a creature living in a high-stakes environment where a failed strike means starvation. The Golden Lancehead isn't just surviving, it's ruling. It adapted to be instantly lethal, transforming a beautiful island into a nightmare biological experiment. Now, if the snakes are so potent, who were the first victims to confirm the island's deadly reputation? The numbers on Snake Island are impossible. You've heard the basic statistic, 1 snake per square meter. That's horrifying enough. But according to the Brazilian Navy researchers who occasionally brave the coast, in certain prime feeding areas, the density skyrockets. We're talking about 3, 4, sometimes 5 snakes per square meter. The ground is essentially a writhing, deadly carpet. This kind of population density means total ecological dominance. The island's ecosystem doesn't support the snakes are the ecosystem. Fishermen who approach the forbidden zone often speak in hushed tones about near-miraculous escapes. They talk about strange sightings, not just single vipers, but coils of golden bodies moving together, particularly around a specific rock formation the researchers call Viper's Throne, where the snakes gather during the warmer seasons. Imagine seeing that mass of lethal gold moving towards you. How can so many highly specialized predators exist in one small place? The obvious answer is the total absence of ground predators, allowing every hatchling to survive. But some experts theorize that there must be an unknown, highly specific ecological factor at play, perhaps a mineral deposit or an incredibly fertile feeding ground for the migratory birds that contributes to this insane concentration. It's a mystery wrapped in a nightmare. This density is the reason the Brazilian Navy enforces the ban so strictly. It's not just that you might encounter a snake, it's that you will encounter dozens, perhaps even 100 within minutes of stepping off the boat. But not everyone heeded the warning. The island has claimed its victims, and the stories of their demise are the stuff of local legend. Let's talk about the horrific reality of the island's human victims. If this island is so deadly, why hasn't the government simply eradicated the population? The answer is twofold, and it's the reason the Brazilian Navy keeps a constant, silent watch. First, human safety. The fatality rate for a Golden Lancehead bite is nearly 100% without immediate specialized antivenom, which, ironically, must be transported from the mainland. A single mistake on this island means certain, gruesome death. The ban is the only way to prevent mass tragedy. Second, the snake itself. The Golden Lancehead is critically endangered. It exists only here. If anything happened to this tiny island, the species would be extinct. The Brazilian government recognizes the unique biological importance of this evolutionary marvel, however deadly it may be. So, public access is absolutely forbidden. Only the Brazilian Navy and a handful of vetted scientists, the ones insane enough to suit up, obtain special permits to visit, usually for environmental monitoring or lighthouse maintenance. There are, of course, other theories. Some speculate the ban helps prevent illegal fishing in the rich surrounding waters, while others believe the government wants to discourage treasure hunters still seeking that pirate gold. Regardless of the motive, the enforcement is strict. One naval officer, describing their patrols, once reportedly said, "Approach is itself a gamble with death." The Navy monitors the zone remotely, but their presence near the shore is a constant reminder that this island is a legal and practical fortress. They aren't guarding a national park, they're guarding a living biological weapon. But while the Navy guards the perimeter, what about the men who once lived on the island, forced to deal with the snakes daily? Their story is the darkest legend of Queimada Grande. Imagine being a small, exhausted bird, having flown hundreds of miles over the open ocean, finally spotting a welcoming patch of green. Relief washes over you as you land in the Atlantic rainforest. You just landed in hell. The Golden Lancehead's life revolves entirely around this moment. Unlike mainland vipers that hunt ground prey like rodents, the lancehead must hunt migratory birds. Their strategy is pure, brutal efficiency. They coil silently in the branches, often camouflaged perfectly against the bark, waiting. When an unsuspecting bird lands, the snake strikes with lightning speed. The powerful venom is injected, designed to circulate and cripple instantly. Remember, these snakes cannot track their prey if it flies off. The venom must stop the bird before it takes flight and disappears over the water. This evolutionary pressure is why the venom developed its terrifying speed and strength, becoming capable of melting flesh, ensuring a quick meal. Picture the scene at sunset. Hundreds of vipers, silent and golden, draped across the canopy, patiently waiting for the evening wave of exhausted travelers. They don't need to move much. The food comes to them. This is why their density is so high. They conserve energy and rely on the island's unique location as a biological trap. It's a truly perfect predator-prey relationship, but it's built entirely on instantaneous lethality. The sheer power of the Golden Lancehead's venom is what attracted the next group of people to the island. Not victims, but scavengers looking to profit from the horror. And the price they paid was steep. If you're finding this story unsettling, please subscribe, because the next chapters reveal the human tragedy behind the legend. While the Golden Lanceheads dominate every inch of Queimada Grande, they aren't entirely alone. The island is also home to a few other brave, or perhaps foolish, endemic species that have somehow managed to carve out a precarious existence. There are small brown lizards and the snouted tree frog. How do they survive when every square meter is patrolled by a biological weapon? The answer lies in specialized evolution. Some researchers believe these amphibians may have developed mild chemical defenses in their skin, a form of evolutionary compromise to make them less appealing or even slightly toxic to the vipers. Others suggest that the vipers simply prefer the birds, which offer a larger, more nutrient-rich meal. This survival is a constant, terrifying dance. Every hop, every flicker of the tongue is a gamble with immediate death. Imagine living your entire life knowing that your biggest predator lives literally everywhere around you. There are also persistent rumors among scientists that certain migratory bird species, the ones that manage to stop here and survive, are starting to adapt their behavior over generations, learning to avoid specific zones, or perhaps using faster, more erratic flight patterns during their brief stay. The island, therefore, is a place of fragile ecological wonder and absolute terror. It's a closed-loop system where evolution is cranked up to maximum speed, constantly testing who can survive and who becomes the next meal. This incredible biological pressure cooker is exactly why scientists are so desperate to study the island, even though doing so might cost them their lives. But before the scientists took over, a far more chilling human story unfolded around the island's only permanent structure, the lighthouse. When the Brazilian Navy and approved scientists land on Queimada Grande, it's not an expedition, it's a tactical insertion. Every step is choreographed, every second measured. These are the only people who know what it's like to walk the most dangerous mile on Earth. Their accounts are harrowing. One naval patrolman, whose job it was to check the automated lighthouse systems, reportedly developed a pre-landing ritual, a complicated set of handshakes and silent prayers, because every approach felt like certain doom. The scientists, too, operate under extreme stress. They wear thick, snake-proof suits and gloves, but the psychological impact of knowing a deadly viper is hiding every few feet is immense. I heard an account about a respected herpetologist who once knelt down to collect a soil sample. He was wearing protective boots, but as he reached, he noticed a flash of golden yellow. 3 vipers were coiled around the tripod of his camera, inches from his bare hand. He didn't scream, he didn't move. He simply froze for 5 whole minutes until his partner slowly backed him away. The terrifying silence, they say, is broken only by the faint, dry rustle of scales as the vipers move over the hot rocks. Another scientist shared how their team had strict protocol. Never stand still for more than 30 seconds and always check every branch above your head before moving underneath it. Because these vipers are arboreal, they hunt in the trees. The strike often comes from above, straight to the neck or face. These visits are short, highly risky missions. The profound respect mingled with fear these visitors hold for the island is palpable. They are walking through a living death trap, all for the sake of science and national security. But the true, unsolved mysteries of Snake Island revolve not around the snakes, but around the disappearance of the men who guarded its light. Snake Island is more than just a biological hotspot. It's a factory for legends. The intense isolation and horrific death toll have cemented Queimada Grande in Brazilian folklore as a place of true dread. Indigenous tales often speak of a powerful, supernatural protection guarding the island, making the snakes its tireless living sentinels. These stories warn that anyone who dares to trespass will face instant, unavoidable retribution. Then there are the modern myths. Claims of incredible pirate treasure hidden in the island's rocky caves persist, fueled by the sheer desperation of treasure hunters willing to risk the Golden Lanceheads. Every few years, unauthorized boats are spotted near the coast, driven by greed and foolish confidence. They never make it onto the island, and if they do, they certainly don't make it off. For Brazilians, Snake Island is not just a geographical location, it's a symbol. It represents the utter, unstoppable force of nature when left unchecked, a silent graveyard of footsteps never taken. It serves as a powerful, chilling reminder of human hubris. Approach this wild, natural horror, and you will pay the ultimate price. The island's deadly secrets, however, are not just about ancient myths and biological marvels. They are also about potential future wealth, and this is where the story pivots from fear to immense value. Why does the world's most venomous snake hold the key to millions of dollars in future medicine? The Golden Lancehead is one of the most endangered snakes on Earth. It's an impossible contradiction, a critically imperiled species that is also overwhelmingly abundant in one tiny location. The future of Snake Island balances on a knife edge. Conservationists fight fiercely against threats like invasive species that could destabilize the ecosystem, or the terrifying reality of climate change and rising sea levels that could literally wipe the island off the map. Of course, illegal poachers, driven by the black market value of these rare snakes, remain a constant threat, sneaking past the Navy to capture specimens. But here is the final shocking twist. The powerful venom, the thing that makes the island so deadly, is also what makes it invaluable to science. Researchers believe the Golden Lancehead venom holds compounds that could lead to revolutionary drugs for heart disease, blood pressure control, and even cancer treatment. This terrifying venom, evolved to instantly melt a bird's flesh, may hold the key to saving millions of human lives. This medical potential fuels a massive ethical debate. How much intervention is permissible to harvest a resource that could cure illness, especially when the species is so fragile? Queimada Grande remains untouched, the vipers reigning unchallenged in their golden paradise. It is a symbol of nature's uncompromising power, a place where boundaries are enforced by instantaneous death. As human curiosity pushes against that boundary, we must respect the island's enduring enigma, a sanctuary of both life-saving potential and absolute biological terror. What do you think? Should scientists intervene more heavily to harvest the venom, Or should they leave this deadly fortress alone? Let me know in the comments below. And if you dare to delve deeper into the secrets of our world, make sure you hit that subscribe button before you click away.